A very good morning. You are watching Rajya Sabha Television. I'm Smriti Rastogi. A very important piece of news which we are tracking at this hour is Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu addressing a convocation of ICFI University in Dehradun. Let us cut across live.
Dr. Dhan Singh Rawat ji, ICFI विश्वविद्यालय का कुलपति डॉक्टर एम रामचंद्रन जी, वाइस चांसलर, कुलपति, उपकुलपति और बोर्ड ऑफ गवर्नर्स का सदस्य, एकेडमिक काउंसिल मैनेजमेंट का सदस्य और इस समारोह में आए हुए अतिथियों, मेरा प्रिय युवा मित्रों, I feel extremely delighted to be part of the convocation of ICFI University, Dehradun. On this momentous occasion, I would like to congratulate the students for acquiring the coveted degrees and awards from this prestigious university. I also congratulate the esteemed teachers for sharing and imparting invaluable knowledge and skills to mold the young minds in different disciplines. I am told ICFI University Dehradun is offering world-class quality education for the last 15 years by nurturing and enriching the young human resource of our country and efficiently preparing them for their future endeavors. The world is shrinking into a global village because of information technology resources. The universities today have to build competencies required for functioning effectively in a globalized world. आजकल दुनिया बहुत छोटा हो गया. Students should know how to access, absorb, adopt, and adopt new knowledge. That is the opportunity and challenge before us. They should know how to collaborate, coordinate, and compete in different contexts. They should aim for excellence and efficiency and not settle for mediocrity and also ordinary approach. The world is moving faster. There is a huge competition now. We are living in an era of LPG, liberalization, privatization, globalization. You have so many opportunities as well as so many challenges before you. You have WTO, the new trade regime. You also have a challenge of climate change. You also have now the new trend of protectionism in different countries. So keeping all these things in mind, the universities of India, they must really educate and train students in such a manner to understand and also adapt to the changes and also accept the challenge and to be in the forefront of the movement forward. As we are all aware, India is on the threshold of emerging as a major economic power. Yesterday's newspaper suggests that India has become the 6th largest economy in the world. It's a proud moment for all of us. The Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Bhai Modi is leading from the front. He is a big reformer India ever had. We have seen reformers, Narasimha Rao ji, Manmohan Singh ji, Sriman Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. They brought a lot of reforms. But those reforms are being implemented in an accelerated manner. With all the zeal, the Prime Minister is pushing them forward. There are some problems, there will be some problems, there are some initial hiccups and challenges. But the challenges can be overcome. And you are already seeing the result of the GST. How GST is getting more and more revenue and how people are becoming more and more comfortable after some initial pains. And also see lot of social changes is bringing in. Swachha Bharat, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, drop for crop, and also reverse regeneration across the country, smart city project, housing for all. So many projects, so many programs are there. You have a MISI-DC, Make in India, Skill India, Digital India, Clean India. All these programs are there before us. So there are opportunities and the world is looking towards India, my young friends. I was Minister for Urban Development before taking up this responsibility of the Vice President. A lot of ambassadors used to come to me regularly.
Venkaiah Naidu. In our Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu in Dehradun, where he is addressing the convocation of ICFA University. He spoke about India emerging as the 6th largest economy in the world. He said that it is a proud moment for every one of us. He also applauded Prime Minister Narendra Modi's efforts and various initiatives and programs initiated by the Prime Minister.
So that being the case, now again an opportunity has come and India is being recognized and respected worldwide. So that being the case, we must take this opportunity and strengthen our economy and also grow at a faster rate and also have inclusive growth. The growth should not be confined to cities, confined to few people, confined to five-star hotels or croropatis or the captains of industry. It should be widespread. Everybody should feel that is part of the development story of India. Antyodaya, uplifting the poorest of the poor, suppressed, oppressed and depressed people. Taking care of the man who is sitting in the last line, अंतिम पंक्ति में जो बैठे, उनका उत्थान होना चाहिए. इसके लिए बहुत स्कीम्स सरकार ने शुरू किया. सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने शुरू किया, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने भी शुरू किया. मगर उसका इम्प्लीमेंटेशन, प्रॉपर इम्प्लीमेंटेशन, वो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में पारदर्शिकता और जवाबदेही बहुत जरूरी है. Transparency and accountability. We as educated youngsters, we have a greater role in making the society to participate in the developmental story of India. That's why I feel you, as I told you, you have an opportunity and also you have so many challenges. Friends, you are aware India is on the threshold. My dear students, we are a world civilization with a population, young population. No other country is having this kind of demographic advantage. World civilization, young population, a beautiful combination. And hence it is all more important that we take full advantage of the opportunity before us and rise to the occasion. Partaking in the process of our country becoming a global power. My earnest appeal to students is dream big, aim high. You may recall the exhortation made by Dr. Abdul Kalam, our former president, who was not only encouraged but also made dreaming a big slogan so that each one of us Indians can have determination to convert these dreams into actions. Dream high, aim high. But if you dream and aim high, you must work hard. Without hard work, simply having a dream alone will not suffice. So this world is full of opportunities. You must seize this opportunity. Swami Vivekananda stated 100 years ago, awake, arise and stop not till you achieve your goal. So this is very relevant today. Swami Vivekananda call is very relevant today. As opportunities are ready and you are also having the basic foundation and skill upgradation in the country, we must seize those opportunities, accept those challenges and then take the country forward and also take the humanity forward. Science and technology are for the betterment of society, to give you better ideas. And if you, yesterday I was there in the Oceanography Institute in Hyderabad. Now we have a latest technology to find out, identify when the tsunami is likely to come, how effective it will be. We have the developed technology about availability of fish, which area, at what kilometer, availability of fish, so that the fishermen need not waste their energies and their diesel and time. And then also probability of cyclone and other natural calamities like a tsunami. As I told you, friends, you must also remember another thing. We have played with the nature. Unfortunately, nature is showing its fury on us now. So once again, we must get back and we must love the nature and live with the nature. Love and live with the nature. Nature, culture for a better future, that should be our aim. See why this Uttarakhand is very green and steps are taken to strengthen further green. Weather is also good that way. That's why people are comparatively healthy. And if you are healthy, you can become wealthy. There is no guarantee if you are wealthy that you will become healthy. So keeping that in mind, we must take care of the nature, love and live with the nature. Use the knowledge and skills you have acquired to go further, transform your world and world of people around you. Today's world is a world of unprecedented changes in many spheres of human life. Innovative technologies and creative disruptions are changing the way we live our lives. Innovation, incubation, all the new ideas, startup and stand-up. I remember stand-up was used when we used to go to school those days. Teacher used to say stand up on the bench. Now stand-up is different, to stand on your own legs. Startup is different, innovation is different, incubation is different. So this is a new thrust. So new vocabulary has been added to the development story of India. And then the world is open. You can learn from the best practices. We can pass on our best practices to others also and share our knowledge. Our country, while making remarkable strides in many fields, is also facing number of challenges like a global warming, ocean acidification, loss of biodiversity, urban migration, increase in demand for energy, shortage of drinking water, polluted air, lack of safe waste disposal mechanism, and fuel inefficient transportation. Some of these challenges are. So we have to find answers to these challenges. Universities should equip students with multidisciplinary knowledge and interdisciplinary skills to be able to not only study these problems but also look for solutions to meet these challenges. This, in my view, is one of the biggest challenges before our educational community, and much of the future depends on to what extent we are smart and we are swift and we are able to find solutions. Education is the single most important element in converting our young population into a national asset. Education is not for merely employment. Education is for enhancement of knowledge. Education is for enlightenment. Education is for empowerment. And then education is for employment. But unfortunately, we are looking at it from the bottom, only for employment. That's not the case. With this, new opportunities that are available to you, with enhanced skills, with the focus of the government on skill development and upgradation, we can really do wonders. And then we can bring cheers on the face of the people, common people. Friends, what is critically important here is what is the access we are providing to large section of our student community to go in for higher education. Equally critical is the issue as to how best we can succeed in extending these opportunities to our girls, as well as because this is something which will require focus and attention on the part of the government as well as that of our academic community. We must give equal respect, equal treatment. We must also give them opportunities. Women are proving they are second to none if you give an opportunity. And our civilization from the ancient days used to respect women. Many of the rivers, Ganga, Kaveri, Yamuna, Triveni, these Saraswati, Mahendra Tanaya, Narmada, Tapati, all named after women. So keeping that in mind, we must again get back to our roots and our culture and heritage, and then try to respect women and give them equal opportunities. The stories about atrocities of women are a shame to all of us, to our civilization which is thousands of years old. We believe in Vasudaika Kutumbam. We believe in Sarve Jana Sukhina Bhavantu. We have no history of attacking any country any time, in spite of being Vishwaguru once upon a time. In spite of having 27% of the world GDP used to come from India earlier. But never we attacked. Others came here, attacked us. Every time Dick and Harry came, attacked, looted, cheated, and then took away our wealth also. Learning from the past experience, we must become strong. And we must follow the philosophy of share and care. Share and care has been the core of Indian philosophy. Keep that in mind and move in that direction. You must be a socially conscious citizen. It is not only to think about yourself or your family. You must think about your village, you must think about your district, you must think about your state, you must think about your country, and then think about the humanity. अलग भाषा अलग वेश फिर भी अपना एक देश विविधता में एकता भारत का विशेषता. That is the greatness of India. So these universities are preparing students for tomorrow. Whenever necessary, traditional teaching methods have been replaced with new ways of teaching, as change is the only constant factor for progress in any field. Classrooms should become exciting, They should become interactive centers of learning for students and not teacher-centric sermon halls. There must be a highly healthy spirit of competition among the higher education institutions. It is really a challenge that none of our universities qualified to be among the first 100. And none of the universities here also qualified. This is a challenge for all of you. That shows you must work hard. Not only the students, but also the teaching community and the faculty. And the management, they have to focus. In a country like India, where you have 130 crore population, 25% of the people living below poverty line, and also 20% being illiterate, you need to involve not only government but also private sector in a big way. ICFI is a public-private, it is a private institution, but they have around 11 to 12 universities across the country doing a great job. So private universities and public universities, they must also compete with each other. You are fortunate to have a Vice Chancellor, Sri Ramachandran, who worked with us in Delhi, who has been the Urban Development Secretary and also Chief Secretary of Uttarakhand. His guidance will be very useful to you in the coming days. I hope that ICFI University will emerge as a center of learning and center of excellence. So please also focus on objective-based learning, need-based learning, industrial-based learning, business-based learning, agriculture-based learning, program outcome-based learning. This is the need of the hour. Merely acquiring degrees of general knowledge is of no use. You need to acquire knowledge and wisdom. It is gratifying fact to know that all the students are exposed to selective, elective in addition to core subjects for their all-round development, so that they will not only prepare for the routine jobs but can handle new problems, situations and difficulties. The youngsters must also visit the villages. As part of your education, the system should be changed in such a way every student must spend some time in the village, so that they understand the real life of the rural people and try to find solutions. Then they must also be involved in the social service activities. They must also participate in campaigns like Swachh Bharat, health for all, tree plantation. These are the priorities. Along with your education, you must get knowledge of all these things. Let us not forget what Mahatma Gandhi said. He said, my understanding of true education, by education I mean all-round drawing of the best in child and a man in body, mind and spirit. That's what Mahatma Gandhi has said. Mahatma Gandhi has said, education which does not mold character is absolutely worthless. We used to have moral science those days when we were students. Now science is there, morals have gone. That's why we are seeing decay in the public life. Right from political system, parliament to local level. There is a decay in morals and ethics. We have to rebuild again the foundations with ethics and morals, value system. That is the need of the hour. We must also have civic sense. We must follow the rules and regulations of the government and also the rules and regulations of the nature. If you go against the nature, you will be the casualty. If you construct a house in the river bed, what will happen to you? You people in Dehradun, you understand better, I need not explain. My dear young friends, please remember that character, caliber, capacity and conduct, compassion, hard work and discipline are important qualities for achieving success and realizing dreams. As this is a key motto, determination and a sacred goal you should be able to carry with you when you walk out of this institution very proudly. I am sure you will stand in good stead throughout your life, all these qualities. And when you do this and when it yields dividends in your further life and career, that's the time when you remember your alma mater very gratefully and proudly. Every student must remember 5 things. 1, mother, who has given you the beautiful birth. 2nd, Janmabhoomi, the native place where you were born. 3rd is the mother tongue, the language that has come from your mother's womb. Uttarakhandi, Hindi, Punjabi, Assami, Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, Malayali, Marathi. We should never forget our mother tongue. Forgetting mother tongue means forgetting mother. And now, because it became a fascination because of the colonial rule, that even elderly people who are illiterate, they also tell the children, Babu, mummy kaho, daddy kaho. What is this mummy, daddy, bidi, jadi business? Why don't we say amma, ma? Ma means antaral se aata hai. Mummy means it comes from the lips. So we should We should practice mother tongue at home. The other day I told in Parliament, in the coming 18th onwards, if the session, when it is going to start, if it functions, everybody will be allowed to speak in their mother tongue. 22 languages to start with, and there will be simultaneous translation. पार्लियामेंट बहुभाषा संसद होना चाहिए. राम मनोहर लोहिया जी ने कहा, दीनदयाल जी ने कहा बहुत पहले. So we are now trying to move in that direction. I would like to see science and technology. Even PhDs are conducted in your local language. That is the dream I have. That can be fulfilled. There is no problem at all. So please work hard and move in that direction. When we keep these qualities in mind, we should realize the value of research and innovation, which have become key parameter to judge the performance of university in modern age. How many PhDs you have produced? How many papers you have submitted? How many outstanding meritorious students you have brought out from your university? That's the yardstick. One of the real challenges before a university like ICFI is to be able to carve out a name for itself among the private universities in India by providing quality education in the real sense of term and thereby able to stand out differently. I do hope your university will be able to rise up to this challenge very ably and eloquently. Please develop social outlook. Think about the society. And also think about the nation. Be a nationalist. Nation do not mean nationalism or Deshabhakti do not mean only saying Jai Hind, salute or standing during Janagana Mana. Standing by the people of the country. Irrespective of caste, creed, sex, religion and region. India is one. One nation, one people, one country. Whoever is affected, we should feel his pain. Then only you are a patriot. Then only you are a Deshabhakta. About the Dalits, about the downtrodden, about the woman, about the minority, about the majority. All people are your sisters and brothers. That is the nationhood. That is patriotism. That is the Deshabhakti. That is the real service you can do to the country. Killing each other, committing atrocities against anybody, discriminating on the basis of religion or caste are not in the national interest. They are not part of patriotism. One has to understand this very thing. There should not be any discrimination. Whether you are a majority or minority, everybody's rights are protected by the Constitution. And our culture, some people talk about, sir, there is a threat to secularism and all. There is no threat because it is not political leadership, government alone which is protecting secularism. It is the DNA of Indian people that guarantees secularism in this country. Sarva dharma samabhavana. सबका साथ सबका विकास ये हमारा भावना है. ये हमारा आचरण भी होना चाहिए. उसी दिशा में हम लोग सोचना चाहिए. वही देशभक्ति होगा, वही राष्ट्रभक्ति होगा, वही नेशनलिज्म होगा. इस दिशा में हमारा बच्चे नया पीढ़ी सोचना शुरू करे तो देश के लिए अच्छा होगा, देश का भला होगा, आपका भी भला होगा. This is my advice to all students. This is a proud moment for all of you. I would like to compliment your parents also that they have provided this opportunity and you are able to fulfill the dreams of your parents who have come here, that you are now graduating and some of you got that gold medals. I am also happy that among the gold medal winners there are girls in good number. That's a good sign because woman, if you are educate a man, you are educating a man. If you educate a woman, you are educating a family. That has to be understood. I am sure you are now all adequately equipped to take up those challenges and you will succeed in playing a creative role in the process of nation building, in the process making your parents and your university feel proud and happy. As I was telling, mother, native place, Janmabhoomi, mother tongue, and then motherland, country, and then Guru. Guru is very important. Google has come now, sort of revolutionary changes are being brought by Google. Google is useful, but Google can never replace Guru. Remember that Guru is always useful. So remember the Gurus, remember the institution, and then when you enter the life, go with confidence. Go with character, caliber, capacity and conduct. Then you will succeed. My best wishes to all of you. सबको शुभकामनाएं, हार्दिक अभिनंदन, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, नमस्कार, जय हिंद.
So there, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu in Dehradun addressing the convocation of ICFA University there. He said that it is a proud moment for India as it is emerging as the sixth largest economy in the world. He also applauded Prime Minister Narendra Modi's efforts for his programs like Swachh Bharat and Make in India and other initiatives. He also emphasized on the inclusive and widespread growth of India. Vice President also spoke about transparency and accountability of development. And he said that no other country has a demographic advantage like us. He also asked students to dream big and aim high. That's all we have for you in this special edition. Keep watching Rajya Sabha Television.